In 2023, federal agents on a routine evening operation saw a massive glowing orange orb hovering in the night sky. Within seconds, smaller, red, glowing spheres began dropping out of its base, almost like a mothership launching scout planes. If a random person made this claim, it would be easy to dismiss, but these were highly trained U.S. federal officers who filed official, sworn statements detailing exactly what they witnessed. Around that same time, U.S. military personnel in Greece tracked an object skimming the ocean surface. It was moving at 80 miles per hour and taking sharp 90-degree turns, a maneuver that defies basic physics and inertia. A year later, sightings surged in active combat zones. In Iraq, military aircraft recorded a mysterious object blowing past surveillance systems at massive speeds. Over in Syria, troops observed semi-transparent orange anomalies that hovered briefly before vanishing entirely. These encounters aren't restricted to the Earth's atmosphere. Back in 1965, during the Gemini 7 mission, astronaut Frank Borman radioed the Houston ground station to report a bogey, a strict military term for an unidentified aircraft tracking his orbit in the vacuum of space. The Apollo lunar missions recorded similar anomalies. During Apollo 17, cameras captured 3 distinct dots flying in a triangular formation near the moon. Years earlier, Buzz Aldrin reported seeing flashing lights inside his cabin and a massive sparkling light source on the lunar surface itself. When you have highly trained professionals, like federal agents, fighter pilots, and seasoned astronauts, reporting objects that ignore the laws of aerodynamics, it makes total sense that people assume extraterrestrial spacecraft are visiting Earth. This belief gained massive traction recently when the U.S. Department of War declassified 162 previously secret UFO files. They published a webpage containing dozens of unseen videos, images, and incident reports spanning decades. But there is a glaring issue with how this data was released. The military dumped raw, blurry infrared videos and eyewitness transcripts into the public domain without providing any official context, analysis, or conclusions to go with them. To actually understand what we're looking at, we have to change our approach. Instead of asking what these physics-defying objects are, we need to analyze exactly where they appear. Look at this map tracking historical UFO sightings. In the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, the reports heavily cluster in the American Southwest, Germany, and right along the Soviet borders. If we update this map with recent reports from the past few years, a new cluster emerges. The dots crowd around Iraq, Syria, Japan, and the Indo-Pacific. When we add a layer showing active U.S. military bases and conflict zones, the two data sets overlap perfectly. The flying anomalies strictly follow the American military's global footprint, appearing exactly where the U.S. deploys its most advanced surveillance systems. This forces a very practical question. Why would a species capable of interstellar travel solely concern itself with observing United States military installations? This undeniable geographic correlation suggests that the source of these objects is earthly geopolitics, rather than extraterrestrial exploration. To understand how this works, we have to look at the event that kicked off the global flying saucer craze, the 1947 Roswell crash in New Mexico. Decades after the initial hysteria, the U.S. Air Force declassified Project Mogul. The mysterious metallic debris found in the desert was actually the wreckage of a top-secret American spy balloon designed to float into the upper atmosphere and detect Soviet nuclear tests. As for the rumors of recovered alien bodies, a later military report confirmed that those were high-altitude test dummies, essentially sophisticated mannequins used to evaluate parachute systems. The U.S. military quickly recognized an immense strategic advantage. By allowing the public and the press to run wild with extraterrestrial theories, they could test highly classified aerospace technology right out in the open, completely shielding their Cold War advancements from Soviet spies. Roswell wrote a permanent operational playbook. Letting citizens speculate about visitors from other galaxies acts as an impenetrable camouflage for classified American black projects. That same playbook explains the modern sightings. In 2024, the Pentagon's Specialized Anomaly Resolution Office, ARO, published a comprehensive report concluding there is absolutely zero evidence that the U.S. possesses or has ever encountered extraterrestrial technology. While some specific videos, like those from Greece or Syria, remain officially unexplained, the vast majority of modern encounters eventually track back to advanced earthly hardware. High-altitude balloons, Iranian drones, and specialized sensor jamming technology can create bizarre visual artifacts on the very surveillance systems meant to track them. Even the most famous outer space sightings have terrestrial explanations. Astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin eventually concluded that their mysterious flashes were actually sunlight leaking through window covers, stray atomic particles, or simply reflections bouncing off smooth bodies of water on Earth. When analyzed methodically, every single one of these physics-defying videos drops into three distinct earthly categories: natural atmospheric phenomena, foreign espionage, or covert American military testing. This leads to a larger question. If the government admits there are no aliens, why do they continue to release these unexplained files to the public? The government has been accused of using these file dumps as a tactical distraction, flooding the news cycle to move focus away from administrative failures or sensitive records, like the Epstein files. By stoking public fascination with UFOs, officials can dominate headlines and keep more damaging scandals off the front page. Speculation and pseudoscience always thrive in the spaces where the government deliberately removes context and transparency. So the next time a grainy infrared video of a flying orb is declassified, stop searching the stars for answers. The real truth is entirely confined to the geopolitical chessboard right here on Earth.